I came face to face with death, and the doctors gave me a 1% chance of living and surviving. I was having headaches that were abnormal, and I noticed that my left hand wasn't working right as well as my right hand, so they did an MRI, they found my brain AVM, and from there I started getting treated. They put me down, and they put glue into my AVM. It was too much glue, and it ruptured, causing a massive brain bleed and a hemorrhagic stroke. So the bleeding in my brain was so severe that they had to remove the right side of my skull, shave my head so my brain could swell freely. So after the surgery, the doctors had told my mom that I had a 1% chance of surviving that surgery. And then I woke up 2 weeks later when D'Angelo came and I was unconscious at the hospital. He prayed over me, he prayed over my mom. And I wasn't even awake, but that was life-changing. And I had to just start intense inpatient therapy. It was speech, physical, occupational therapy that would essentially me relearning basic abilities that I took for granted. So I was in college. I was about to graduate college. I have plans for transferring to university. I was 20 years old when I had my stroke. I was severely depressed that I couldn't go to college anymore. I couldn't go to work. I couldn't see my friends. All my friends had ditched me when I had my stroke, essentially. And I remember thinking to myself, like, why would a God that loves me so much allow this to happen to me? God, like, where are you? I knew God was real and that He healed me when I was able to stand up independently for the first time, walk in a walker, and move. Because the doctors had told me that I would never walk again, or talk, or swallow, or see, and I'm able to do all of those things, and it's a miracle. I remember the first time I came to Vibrant, D'Angelo had invited me, Savina, my best friend, invited me. I had thought D'Angelo was the pastor and that he was going to preach, and then Pastor Brandon, the actual pastor, came up to me, and I was like, who are you, man? I came in a wheelchair. I had my helmet on to protect my head. And I remember Pastor Brandon just praying over me. And I immediately felt moved by the Spirit. And just to encounter Jesus in such a space is like life-changing. And it changed my life forever, truly. In the middle of the sermon, Pastor Brandon asked everyone that if they wanted to receive Christ, to just raise your hand and pray this prayer. And I remember my arms shot up, and I immediately received that prayer. And from then on, like, I gave my life to Christ. That invite changed my life. Like, yeah, it changed my life entirely. I started studying the Word, which was never a thing for me. I read the Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. I remember the order. And it was life-changing, and I'm just so grateful to have found Vibrant and a family in Vibrant. The doctors told me I would never be able to swallow, walk, talk, or see, but now I'm doing all of those things because God healed me. This fall, I was accepted into the University of Central Florida to start school again, which is incredible. My name is Maya, and I'm living a better story. Praise God.